starters, Tyler, just talk about the decision to relocate to a Midwest circuit from the California circuit, which your whole career you've been on.
Well, the way racing's been over there, I didn't work for about a month, and I've got 3 kids and a house payment, and I love California. That's been my home, but it was time for a change, and had a good opportunity, so I took it. I love Kentucky. It's everybody dreams of riding at Churchill Downs and winning races, and I've been fortunate enough to win, I think, 10 now. So it's, I'm having a good meet. I'm enjoying it, and just looking forward to bigger and better things. I've had a lot of support from a lot of trainers, and really looking forward to a good summer.
What do you know about Ellis Park?
Don't know anything about Ellis Park.
Do you know that they're giving away $330,000 a day on average in person?
Yes, I did hear that.
Is that the main thing you need to know at this point? Mm-hmm.
Not really. To me, it's about riding and having a good time and fun while you're doing it. The only hard part of any of this for me is being away from my kids and family. But I get to go out there occasionally and see them, and we'll make it work. Maybe they'll have to come out here and spend some time.
What difference do you think riding in Kentucky versus riding in California, if there is?
Biggest difference for me is really the Jocks Colony. When you ride with people for so long, you tend to know how they ride and what they're what they're thinking in a race. So here, I just got to learn the riders a little bit, but nothing really is a whole lot different. I don't change anything.
Have there been any surprises for you riding in Kentucky that you didn't? I mean, you'd ridden here for stakes and things before.
No real surprises. I love it here. The weather can change every 2 minutes, so that's the only thing that is really different. But it's a beautiful state, and I love the rain. So I was born and raised in Seattle, Washington, so we have plenty of rain. So.
It seems like it wasn't that long ago that you were the Eclipse Award apprentice. Like, when did you grow up? It seems like all of a sudden. When did you get 3 kids?
It seems like yesterday. It seems like yesterday, the Eclipse Award. That was a huge honor for, not just for me, but for my family, and we've been in the business for a long time. I think I'm about the 5th or 6th generation, so maybe in the future one of my kids or my brother's kids will be a jockey. You never know.
Well, let's talk about being part of the famous Baze family, probably one of the most famous, definitely one of the most famous jockey families in the world. What relationship are you to Russell?
Second cousins. Him and my dad are first cousins. So.
And so does that put any pressure on you when you're a Baze that you better know what you're doing as a rider, or you're going to disgrace the family name?
I've never thought about that. It's I go out there and do the best I can. I know my job. My job's to win a race, whatever I got to do to win it, and so I just proud to have the last name.
Is it the kind of thing, though, did you ever think you would be anything else? Or
no.
Just growing up because that's...
Gary Stevens is actually my uncle. He was married to my dad's sister for a long time, and the day I watched him win the Derby on Winning Colors, I think it was 1987, that's...
88.
88, I told my dad, that's what I'm going to do. And I think I was 7 years old or 8 years old, so... Yep, I've been wanting to do this my whole life, and I started breaking babies and stuff with my dad when I was a little kid, so it's all I know.
So your dad is Mike.
Is Earl Baze.
Okay.
He's a horseshoer and singer, songwriter, and
And he rode.
He rode for 2 months. He liked to eat more than I did. But my mom rode for actually about 10 years off and on. She got hurt quite a few times.
Okay, so who is your mom?
Her name's Cammie Baze. But I don't even know what name she rode under because she quit riding once we were born.
Did your parents encourage you to ride? Or did your
Not
dad
really.
say, there's also eating?
No, it's just what I've always done. When I started breaking babies and galloping horses when I was 8 years old with my dad, it's he taught me from the ground up. I had a job mucking stalls and a job grooming, and I started from the bottom, and just he made us learn everything, and he taught us how to work, that's for sure.
And I actually worked together 10 years ago in California. I was his agent for a couple of years there before he got a really bad injury. And with California struggling a little bit, he called me and he said, "What do you think I ought to do?" And I said, "Come and ride the last 6 weeks at Oaklawn. Some of the guys are leaving. A couple of guys have gone away, and you might be able to pick up some business at the end of Oakland. And it turned out great. He won 8 races, and he won races for some of the right guys. And that evolved into coming here to Churchill, and now he loves it here in Kentucky. And when we heard that Ellis is going to have $330,000 a day in purses, it just seemed like a natural transition to try to stay here in Kentucky literally year-round, except for when we go back to Oakland in the wintertime. So it's a perfect fit, and to be honest with you, the biggest deal was finding out about how great the purses are going to be at Ellis this year. That had a lot to do with it.
And all the stakes at Ellis are on a Sunday, which is by design, because so many stakes elsewhere on Saturday. So you can ship around if you want.
Yeah, as an agent, I tend to try to stay at a particular track. Being in the top 3 in the standings means a ton, because if a horse ships in from out of town, or if an owner doesn't necessarily know who the riders are, he might just say to his trainer, well, give me one of the top 3 guys. And so, yeah, we do know that there are stakes that we might be able to ride out of town on Saturdays, but it'll have to be a very big deal to be able to have us leave Ellis. We're going to be completely committed to riding at Ellis, and if we do ship out of town, it'll be for something really, really important.
Have you ever been to Ellis Park?
I've never been. I hear it's a county fair atmosphere, though, and having been myself on the Northern California Fair circuit for so many years, I'm really looking forward to it. I hear it's terrific.